Hello everyone and welcome back to another car profile, and as you can see by the big Mercedes badge on the front, we are with the Mercedes AMG GT3 car. Not a vintage Gran Turismo car this time, this is a real world car, obviously competing in BoP and all the GT3 races around the world. And what a car this is. So it's obviously it's front engine rear wheel drive, and unlike the road car it's not turbocharged, which is kind of interesting. I always thought it was turbocharged, and obviously I've jumped in it now. It's not. So naturally aspirated engine up front. And we'll see how it does. I'm expecting it to act like the Z4 a little bit, because obviously long nose, lots of weight over the front, but let's see what happens. We're here at Brands Hatch, as you can see down at the bottom right. We've already got a 122.3 optimum, and we are looking at optimums, remember, not faster slaps. Paddock kill, no real issues there, and no real issues here at Druids either. As we come in here, we're just managing the throttle, we accelerate out, all very well and good. We're getting 16.967. I can tell you now, we got a lot of 16.9s in this car. Very stable, and it's like that everywhere pretty much. This car, it's a very stable car. Like here, I can go full throttle in second gear when I've not even really left a corner yet, and you don't really, you can't really do that in any other car that I've really tried. It is a very stable car. The only time it starts to struggle a little bit is if you're like affecting the weight with a curb as you're accelerating out of a corner in the bottom end of third, top end of second. You just see the twitch there, that's what I mean. But that's known in this class now. All the BoP tests we've done, we've kind of seen that top end of second, bottom end of third, there can be issues, but this is very stable. As we come through here, we're really, you can see how aggressive we can be with the throttle. We can just put it down and just leg it out of a corner ridiculously fast. As you see, going around this last corner now, we're still absolutely nailing this car, and you can see on the right side we're consistent in this 122.9, 122.9, 122.7, 122.6, 122.6. We're constantly improving, and as you see, our optimum goes down to 122.186. Annoyingly, I did have to restart on lap 1 because I left counter steering assist on because of the Nations Cup in the go-karts, which you obviously probably know why I had to do that. Anyway, we're here at Dragon Trail, so we're going to test curbs here and stability at the end of sector 2. And also obviously the chicane, which this is going to be interesting in this car because I expect it to be like the Z4 and the F-Type, where you can literally just thread it through the chicane. So no issues in the first corner really. I did it in third gear mainly, that's where all the time is. If you drop down to second you lose too much speed, and then on exit you could obviously get a bit of a wiggle, but nothing major. It's very easy to catch this car. In fact, I did a Tokyo drift on Interlagos, I think it was, full on drift round the Senna S. Through here we go. So this is where the car's weakness is fourth gear turns. For some reason it understeers a lot in fourth gear. Now I'm not sure of the reason. As you see there, we've run very wide for this car. You can see it didn't bottom out on the curbs at all. But coming down towards this corner now, so obviously we're going to test stability at this corner. I can tell you now, it's absolutely fine. Literally, you turn it, you've put your foot down, look at that. You got to straighten the steering out a little bit, of course, but even so, we carry on. So I've got 30.6 sector 2. I think we did go down into the 0.5s there. As through here we go. Look how fast we do the chicane. It absolutely loves the chicane because you're literally going to fifth gear. As I say, there's understeer at fourth gear, but you go into fifth gear, you suddenly can turn the car where you want, and bam, straight through you go on that chicane into the last corner. Now stay in third gear again. This is just a stability thing, you know. Top end of second, you're going to get a bit more stability issues, but through we go, heading towards the line. So we did a 36.8 last lap. You can see the consistency there. We're doing another 36.8, and there's lots of 36s there. And our optimum, a 136.670. So it's a very fast car in terms of the first two tracks so far. Let's go to Interlagos now. Testing undulations here, a bit of curb action again. Obviously stability in the Senna S, and the power up the hill, of course. So through here, we're staying in third gear. Again, it's just, you know, helps with stability. Through there we go. A little bit of a wiggle because of the curb. But round we go. And you can see our optimum already down to 130.831 as we now head towards the end of the first sector. What do we get at the end of the first sector? 23.0. I think that is what our maximum is. But through here, this corner, it loves this corner. You can even touch the dark green stuff and it doesn't spin the car out in this. Obviously, you're going to lose time on it, but it doesn't spin the car out. It's so stable. Coming into this corner, again, you can sort of, in third gear and fifth gear, you can turn the car, but fourth gear, it struggles with understeer. It's very odd. So into here we go. Absolutely no problems. and the left-hander. So obviously at this point we are testing the undulations. No real issues at all with undulations at all in this car. It has no impact on it whatsoever. So, you know, stability, very nice. Obviously it's going to be a very low risk indicator so far, if you've not already guessed. Through there we go. You just see the bump. Doesn't really unsettle the car. Obviously I'm manipulating the throttle a little bit just to make sure it doesn't do that much. Third gear again on the exit. Now I did find top end a second. The car was losing the rear a little bit there, but as you can see, no problems. And that's where we gain our lap time here, because we're nearly 2 tenths up on a 130.9 as we head towards the line. Now obviously if we're nearly 2 tenths up, our optimum's going to go down to a 130.730. And we actually drop it even further to a 0.662 because the very next lap we go a bit faster in sector 2. So Suzuka now. Now you can see our optimum down to a 158.753. We've got a lot of 59s, a couple of 2 minutes there. That's where I was really pushing into this corner. Trail braking, that's where we can test here. It's a very balanced circuit, but no issues with trail braking at all. Tiny bit of understeer from it. Nothing major, so obviously your brake balance would go a bit more towards the rear, I think, in this car, because it doesn't suffer with oversteer. Through here we go. We're staying in third mainly. We can really push on, and then into here. We're trying to use that curb a little bit to grab us round, because we can do that here. 33.0. Didn't get any faster than a 0.0 here. It did struggle a little bit there because it's top end of third going into the fourth gear, and fourth gear is where the understeer is at in this car. It really struggles. So Degner 1 here, it struggles. Now I should try fifth, but fifth it felt awkward and weird. And again it struggles at Degner 2 as well, but it was mainly Degner 1 it struggled at. You can feel the understeer massively in that corner. And 19.1 I think was the fastest we did. Out the hairpin, no issues whatsoever. It puts the power down, you accelerate out of that corner as we continue on. So at the moment on this lap we are matching the best cars. As we continue on, but of course we've got Spoon coming up. Third gear in, here we go. You can just see a little bit of understeer there. So that was obviously going towards top end of third and the fourth gear. We accelerate out in third gear, so we gained a lot of time there because I tried second on one lap on my fastest lap, the last one in fact, and it didn't feel right at all. So coming up to our speed trap, I think we just tick over 156. You just saw it a little bit there, but you see we lost a lot on the apex speed. So again, it's struggling with like sort of the mid to top end understeer there. Fourth gear. Now it didn't understeer in fifth on other courses, but it did here, so maybe bottom end of fifth it still struggles as well. Accelerate out the hairpin, no issues. Hairpin chicane, I mean. Accelerate out the chicane, no issues whatsoever. Other cars will have a wiggle. 58.7 there optimum, and that's what it stays at. Which is incredible really, because I was expecting it to be faster because it was matching the Porsche everywhere else. In fact it had the exact same time at Dragon Trail as the Porsche, as you can see there, a 136.670. But overall it has come, where has it come? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th position. So it does have a power nerf. So down to 92% power. You can see the times going across there. 156 miles an hour at the speed trap. Risk indicator of 1. It is so stable, this car. You will have very little oversteer. When you do have it, you can catch it. As I say, I did a full-on drift around the second part of the Senna S. Literally sideways the entirety of it. Now in most cars you can't do that. It will go on you. In this car you can do it all day. No real issues with curbs. As you saw, we went on the really high curb, didn't bottom us out in the slightest. In the Lamborghini, that would spin you out. Issues with understeer in fourth gear. I've put top end of fourth, but it's fourth gear in general there. And the car I'd recommend as a starter Group 3 car because, as I say, it's stable. It's bloody quick, as you can see by that time. I potentially think there was probably another tenth or two in Suzuka if we could get Degner 1 and Degner 2 right. But obviously we're going for optimums, and if we don't do it in between 10 and 15 laps, then it's not fair to keep going for 40 laps just to get that time, because we haven't done that with other cars and they potentially could go quicker. But it is up there with the top cars, to be honest with you, and you can see that there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. My logo is there. My logo is there if you want to subscribe. There's a video playlist there of all the other car profiles. But thanks very much for watching. I'll see you at the next car profile, because that is the next video. And it is the Subaru WRX. So this is just for TRL Lightning, of course. The WRX. I will see you then.